Sometimes waiting on God is like trying to find cell reception in the middle of nowhere. No bars. That's infuriating. I mean, look at this place. You'd think they'd have better reception out here. Hello? Is that snow? Oh, goody. Or maybe that word from God is like waiting on a text reply. The worst. It's those 3 little dots. All I needed was a quick response, but they just keep going and going and going. What are you doing? Are you recapping the Count of Monte Cristo? I just need an answer. Is it cell phone coverage? Is it me personally? Is it you? Is it me? I don't know.
Answer me!
Or maybe waiting on God is like trying to get reception in an underground tunnel. Over 2,000 years ago, God's people were also waiting. They were literally for hundreds of years waiting for God to give them a message, an answer. Previously, God found ways to communicate, whether it be a burning bush, a pillar of fire, prophets and kings, and now nothing. It was like they knew he was there, but there was like a lost connection, you know? Have you ever felt like that? Deafening silence in your hour of need. And even in that silence, with only 3 little dots to hold on to and 1 bar of hope, we are reminded why we celebrate Christmas. For unto us a child is born, our Messiah. And do you know what that means for us? And he will never leave you.
Four days, 8 hours a day, 90 miles on foot. That is what waited for Mary, who was 9 months pregnant, by the way. Along with Joseph, who had just discovered that his wife-to-be was pregnant with the Son of God. 90 miles on foot. "90 miles for Mary to ponder the wonder of this miracle and to question how it would affect her hopes and dreams. 90 miles for Joseph to consider the things that first-time dads struggle with and to wonder, what's this relationship with the Son of God gonna be like? 90 miles, probably of difficult discussions. 90 miles of anxiety and doubts. Probably some squabbles, hopefully some laughs. 90 miles. But up ahead lays Bethlehem, the little town where the Savior would be born. Maybe you find yourself on a 90-mile journey this Christmas, one that's testing your faith. Maybe you didn't sign up for this, and you don't think you deserve it, and it's gonna take every breath you've got to get there. Might even feel like God's holding your feet to the fire. The fire. It will refine us if we let it. Have I not told you? Be strong, be courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God, he is with you, no matter where you go. So friend, no matter how long the road, no matter how many dried up streams you come to, lift up your eyes, for the little town of Bethlehem awaits. Jesus, he always meets us at the end of the journey.
Your family tree. It'll tell you a lot about what you're made of. Jesus' family was no different. Chock full of folks much like this piece of cedar board here. Twisted, flawed, full of imperfections. People least likely to be picked out of the pile. You and me, we would not want any of these people in our family tree. So why would a perfect God choose imperfect people to tell a perfect love story? In Noah, he saw a righteous man even though he knew he would succumb to drunkenness. He made Abraham the father of many nations even though he lied about his own family. He gave Sarah the miracle of birth even though she laughed at God in disbelief. Rebekah deceived her husband, but God continued his covenant. Jacob stole his brother's birthright, but God blessed his lineage. Joseph was left for dead, but God made him a ruler. Judah lacked integrity, but God restored him. And Rahab was a prostitute, but God gave her faith. Hezekiah was imprudent. Samson lusted. Josiah waged war. David murdered. And Solomon indulged. Jesus' family tree, full of flaws. And why? Because God can see the finished product in his children. God has a way of just gathering up all the broken pieces, even the ones that are convinced that they are forgettable, unseen, deplorable, far from perfect. And only like a loving father can, he looks at him and he says, "You, come on. We've got some work to do." And on that first Christmas, God made the announcement by hanging a star in the sky, a beacon, if you will, to all those that are hurting, feeling unworthy, broken, to come and find Jesus. And this Christmas, the message is still the same. So my friend, set your eyes on the star. God is calling you out of the night to let go of your past, to surrender the knotted life and the rough edges. God is making something new.
There are things in life that just naturally go together. Cookies and milk, pen, paper, thunder and lightning. Or even this, pastures and sheep. But you know what doesn't go together? Angels and shepherds. Oh, I know, they do now. But before Luke chapter 2, angels and shepherds, not a thing. Now, oh, it's a thing. We all have those nativity sets in our homes with the little figurines that go together. But if you'd been there on that first Christmas night, the night that it all happened, oh boy, nobody saw that combo coming. I tell you what, let's consider what things, not angels, that shepherds would be more likely to be paired with. Shepherds and hooks, shepherds and hook fights, shepherds and fending off wild animals with said hooks, shepherds and rough terrain, shepherds and sleeping on rough terrain, sometimes during extreme weather. As you can see, a pretty glamorous lifestyle. But where do the angels fit in? On the night that Jesus was born, God created this strange union, mighty angels and lowly shepherds, to be the messengers of the good news, the first evangelists, if you will. Their mission was to share the life-changing news with anyone who would listen. For unto you is born this day a Savior. And with that, another amazing partnership came to be. Heaven and earth heaven broke forth. And Jesus came down to be with us so that we could be together forever. The mighty and the lowly. Peace on earth, mercy mild. God and sinners finally reconciled. It is a silent night. Angels stoop down to watch in awe at the foot of this newborn baby's earthly throne. At the sight of his divine humanity and the quiet peace of his humility, there is reflection of God being with us. We remember the land of the deep darkness, in the valley of the shadows that was our home. But now, a great light has shined upon us. The light of the world has dawned. We see prophecies being fulfilled in him. It is a holy night. And on this silent and holy night, we worship this child born unto us. We bow to the Son given to us. We praise the wonderful Counselor who is mighty God and Prince of Peace. He reigns over David's throne and is righteous and just. Yes, on this silent and holy night, all is calm in our souls. All is bright in our lives. Heaven is here. The Messiah is born.